Hey Facebook, it's your friendly nosy neighbors Jessica Carden
and Elise Pell
with the Murdock Manwaring Company, and we're here for another edition of Nosy Neighbors. Thanks for joining us. By the way, if you love local businesses like we do, make sure to like and follow our page, and if you love real estate, head over to the Murdock Manwaring Company page and check out all the amazing things going on with real estate right now. If you've ever thought about selling or buying, now's a great time. So let us know. We'd love to help you. All right. Today we're back out on, what do we call this?
Dance Row.
Dance Row.
Yeah.
It's the place. If you want to get moving and bring your kids to get moving, this is the road.
Yep. Any type of class or tumbling, whatever.
Tumbling,
this is a place to do
jumping,
it.
dancing, it's all here.
Yep.
Because we are here to visit Eagle Rock Gymnastics Academy. And we're super excited for you guys to learn about the gymnastics opportunities that they have inside of here. So let's
They have
get going.
lots of different ones. So
they do.
Find out.
Cover your nose.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Well, hello. So we're the nosy neighbors. Wonder if we can ask a couple questions.
Sure.
Tell us who you are.
My name's Brittne. I'm the owner of the gym. So.
Okay.
Well, fancy meeting you right at the front desk.
Well, I imagine I live here most of the time. So,
So Brittne, tell us, what is Eagle Rock Gymnastics Academy?
it's a gym. It's a recreational gym. We also have a competitive team and Ninja Warrior. It's a place where kids come to obviously get physical activity, but more than that, to learn how to become better human beings while also learning gymnastics. So
That's awesome.
Yeah. That's a cool philosophy.
We
So
love
who
it
is
here.
your customer? Who do you service?
Everybody, actually. We have kids from, we're actually starting a baby class in a couple weeks, but we have kids as young as 13 months up to,
Wow.
an adult. So all age groups. Plus we make a really big point of getting to know the parents too. So even though they're not in a class, right, we're also support for them, and they feel connected when they come in, right? So, which is really important for me, right, in a class. So, yeah.
That is awesome. All right, let's get the logistics out of the way. If they want to know what classes to sign up, prices, where do they go?
We do have a website. It's eaglerockgym.com, and they can just go click under class schedule, and it shows you all of them. But the best way is to just give us a call at 208-227-4074. We're pretty good about answering the phone or returning them if we're in a class, because a lot of people have questions, and so it's best to get those answered and then get them in for a trial class, because we do offer a free trial. And then after the trial, then we talk about, which time is best, and do we think that class is best and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so
that's phenomenal.
It's really the best way is just to give us a call, but we also have the website.
So give us the range of what kind of classes. So when we think about that, you said there's a competitive team, but what kind of gymnastics classes are we teaching? Or is it just the age is the difference?
Age is one of the biggest differences. So we teach preschool, which is basically just a minified version of our recreational class. So we use like the smaller equipment for them. We have a preschool set of bars and things like that. And inside the preschool class, we change the theme each week so that the kids are like also in creative play at the same time. Once they get too old for that, because that does happen, then we move them on to our recreational class, which is where they start really kind of understanding why they're learning what they're learning and what it is. And that teaches the bars, the beam, the vault, the floor. We even have some boy apparatus. We're actually getting some rings pretty soon, but we have the mushrooms and the vault and the floor that the boys use, because we have them in our classes as well.
Wow.
And then we have Ninja, which is kind of like rec class, except for most of it's on the floor and the bars, learning to get from one place to the next quickly. And we have Ninja coaches that have come from South Carolina that are really versed in it, so they've been really good about helping us create a really robust curriculum, I guess is the right word. And then we have team, which is our competitive level, right, which we pick them from recreational class, and it's not just about whether or not they work hard, right, or not work hard, have talent, but they have to work hard, and they have to want it, right? But the difference between us and some other places, I feel like, is that comes second, right? It's whether or not they're happy is most important to us. So we try really hard to make sure that they are a part of their training. They get to make some choices. They get to decide this or that, what they want to do. And
So those
it's really
competitive
important.
teams, they're going out to competitions throughout this area or all over?
Yeah, so this year, I mean, COVID has kind of hurt us. We had to cancel some at the beginning of the year, but so far so good this year. We're still having competitions, but we go from Salt Lake, Boise. There are ones farther away. This year we've chosen not to, just because we want to stay close. But there's been times we've gone, you know, we'll go other places like Vegas and stuff like that. So, but they have fun. It's a fun time traveling and staying in a hotel, you know, and the girls just love that part.
The whole experience.
Yeah.
So in this one, when you talk about your classes, what if it's a beginner? Are beginners with more advanced? Do you have to know your level?
So we always do our trial class in a beginner, even if you come in and you say, hey, we know how to do all this, because we really like to make sure we can assess them and put them in the right class. And if we were to just make an assumption that they would be a higher level, we might put them in a class where they feel discouraged and then they don't want to come back. So I would much rather them try in the beginner class, feel confident, and us be like,
Get them in the right spot.
Yeah, you're doing great. I think you could handle going up to a higher level. But we always start in beginner.
Gotcha.
And we have beginner, intermediate, and advanced. But the trial's always in beginner, regardless of previous experience, just so we can get an assessment.
Are any of the classes according to age?
Yeah, so our rec classes we have 5 to 7 and then 8 plus. So they teach the same thing. We follow the same lesson plan each week for both classes. It's just one goes longer, right, than the other, because 8 years and older tend to be better about staying focused longer, and they have a little bit more stamina, so they can handle a longer class. And then our ninjas, we have 3 to 6-year-olds, and they're a 45-minute class, a little shorter, and then 7 plus is an hour-long class. And then obviously those do intermediate and advanced as well. So if they've kind of gotten to the point where they're not being challenged, then we talk to their parents and say, hey, we always want one of two things. We like both, but we think they do gymnastics or they're in a sport if they're happy, if they're having fun, and if they're challenged.
Yeah.
If neither one of those are being met, then we have to figure out how to fix that, right?
the
But we try to
changes.
meet both those needs, yeah.
Okay.
So ninja, what is that like?
To me, it feels, well, because I'm an older person, right? It's scary, but a lot of kids love it, right? So it's just learning how to jump over mats and things like that with, you know, your feet flying in front of you, learning how to jump from bar to bar, learning how to swing from the ropes, learning how to climb. We have warped walls, so how to get up those warped walls.
Is there anybody inside doing it that we could check out?
Yes, we have. Actually, my ninja coaches are here, and they're getting ready to teach class, so I bet we could go
Oh,
see what they're doing.
let's take a look.
Yeah, come on. Let's go. Hi, guys.
Oh wow, this is a big gym.
wow.
Yeah, it is.
Beautiful.
Can you go check up front real quick for me? Yes, I can. It looks like they're over there by the trampoline.
Oh, look at
We can
that.
go see what they're doing.
This is cool. Very impressive and
Yeah, you guys
very
can walk on this.
professional.
We're not going too far. Go ahead. I'm going to just shut the door behind you. Oh, yep, he just went up the warped wall.
Oh, wow.
So are these our ninja warriors right here?
Yes, they are coaches, so they're
Wow.
pretty impressive. I've done that warped wall once when we first built it, and I will not do it again.
Did you
my
make it
goodness.
up?
I did.
Wow, good
And
for
that was
you.
enough.
And you're like, and I can check that off the box.
Yeah, I was like, I
Yep.
will not be doing that anymore.
Wow.
But yeah, so we have a whole fort back here. We've got window escapes. We have a mini warped wall for the little ninjas. They still try to do the big wall. It doesn't matter. And then we have a slide in the back for the little ones to go down.
Oh, how
And then we have
cool.
like our cannonball alley, a spider wall, and yeah, all sorts of stuff. So
Wow.
coaches, you want to come on over?
They do look like ninjas over
They
there.
do look
They
a
are.
little ninja-ish.
Yeah, they're pretty good because, you know, they like to play that floor is lava thing. Like, then they take it quite
Yeah,
seriously.
gotcha.
You know,
You don't touch the floor.
Yeah,
Look
like
at
that.
that.
that's called a
Wow.
precision jump. And it's pretty, I can't do it,
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
you know. And what's cool about them
Impressive.
is they can demonstrate to the kids, right? So they either want to try it because they're like, ooh, they can do it, or they now really want to listen to what he's teaching because they think someday I'll be able to do it.
Right.
So I better learn what he's teaching me in class today, right?
Right.
Coaches, want to come over? So this is Coach Chandler. They're both brothers, and then Coach
Aha.
Lucas. They've been with us over a year. And yeah, they
Fantastic.
teach all our ninja classes. They actually teach other classes too, but they first and foremost are our ninja coaches. So
All right, I'm going to hand this to you. Hold that little clip. Okay, so talk to us. Tell us what is this to you?
So this is kind of a combination of everything. Gymnastics and ninja warrior, they're always kind of hand in hand. Pretty much everything we do involves upper body strength, balance, core strength, everything. That's why we also encourage our ninjas to take gymnastics and tumbling classes, because it improves their skill here. Because everything they do, it just works hand in hand with it.
How did you start out in this?
So I was actually a student myself. About 4 years ago, I was a student, and me and my brother Lucas were the reigning champions of South Carolina
Wow.
for the Ninja Warrior. And moved here about a year ago and started teaching. We've been teaching for about 3 years now.
Wow.
Were you guys reigning champions at the same time, or were you in different levels?
We were in the same skill division,
Okay.
but we're so even that we would always trade it off. He would take first, I'd take second, vice versa, and we would keep trading it off until we moved. So
You had a little friendly competition going
exactly,
on there.
and that's why if we have siblings or twins in our ninja classes, we encourage them to do friendly competition,
Yeah,
because it's always good for them to know where their limits are and to push them.
that's awesome. I'm going to switch this. 'Cause I'm going to
Yeah,
ask
of
Lucas
course.
a question. All right, Lucas, tell me, what got you into this? Is it only because he was doing it?
Pretty much, yeah. He started out first, but then I got put on hold on a waiting list until one kid essentially dropped out, and then I went in. So essentially, he got a head start on me by a couple weeks.
Uh-huh.
So it must be very popular and competitive if there was a waiting list for it.
Yes, exactly.
So is it as
Love that.
popular here, or are you saying it's growing? What do you think?
I definitely believe that it is growing, but it is very, very popular back east from where we're from. In fact, there's an entire Ninja Warrior division down there that covers North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, and Florida.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, and even now, even after we left, they still haven't come close to our times.
Wow.
What do you
guys.
start teaching the kids right off the bat? When they first come for their beginner class, what are they going to learn?
Well, normally we'll start out with their basic safety roll, which is kind of like the gymnastics forward roll, except we encourage them to do it over their shoulder. Because while the gymnastics roll is safe or to do on mats, you are rolling directly over your spine. However, we encourage them to roll from their shoulder diagonally so that they're not rolling directly over any muscle
So
or
you're
any
starting
bones.
with a lot of the safety and basic things
Yes.
that are going to keep them safe while they're learning.
Yes, exactly.
Perfect. I love that.
Awesome. All right, I'm going to switch back over to this one. I have a question for you. All right, so who should start doing this? Who is going to be the one that would like this?
Pretty much anyone that loves to climb, anyone that likes to jump, run.
What about girls?
Yes, especially. So girls are indeed fewer in our classes, but the ones who do enroll, they're just as good as the boys. Dare I say better.
That's awesome.
If you sign up for a class, let's say a girl wants to sign up, is she going to have other girls in there, or will it be
Yes,
all boys?
yeah, we try to
So you've
keep
got a
them
good mix.
as close. Yep, we try to keep it a good mix, as close together as possible. And even then, I mean, it doesn't affect the training whatsoever. It's still
Great,
the same.
great.
That's awesome. You guys, fantastic. All right, when are your classes?
So we have them throughout the week. Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday are our big days. And from there, we divide it up to our beginner classes. And then beyond there, we'll invite you to enroll in an intermediate or even an advanced ninja class where skills are a little bit harder. You feel a little bit more challenged in the classes.
That's awesome. Well, thanks, you guys. You're amazing. We'll
That's
keep
awesome.
watching you.
Awesome.
You're going to keep going?
Yeah, go for it.
Awesome.
Hey, so Brittne, I had a question.
Yeah.
Do you have any classes that are offered during the day, like say for kids that are doing homeschool? A lot of them are doing virtual online learning right now.
yeah, we actually dedicate our Friday mornings to homeschool. So we teach our regular rec class that is for 8 and older, and then the 5 and 7 on Friday mornings.
Okay.
For those who either, some schools don't go to school on Friday, right? So for those kids, and then also homeschool kids, right? And then we do our preschool and our Munchkin and Me class on that same day. So we try to make it so it's easy enough for a mom to come in and like hit all her bases with all her kids, right? So they can come in, have some activities, and then go on their way. And I don't know, a lot of them go out to lunch. I'm not sure what else
Yeah,
they do,
hey.
but I stay here, so I'm not really sure what they're doing.
So when you talk about that, I'm looking at this. When you talk about rec classes versus like beginner intermediate, is that all rec?
Yes.
Rec is anything that's not competition.
So we have like basically different, so there's Ninja,
Uh-huh.
then there's Rec, then there's Preschool and Munchkin. So Rec is just all of our events, right? And then Ninja is, specific to their type of thing. They obviously use some of the apparatus, but they don't use it in the same way, right? Like what he just did.
Right.
We don't teach our girls that.
That's not what you learn in gymnastics.
No, you learn pullovers
Right.
and stuff like that. So it's a little different. And then obviously our preschool age group, when they get old enough, would just naturally move up to rec classes, right? Because it's the
Gotcha.
same stuff, it's just on the bigger equipment.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So yeah, and then our rec classes, eventually, if they want to and move farther, they get moved up or invited to pre-team. This is our pre-team and our team right here.
Ah, pre-team.
So this is a competition team. Right
Yes, so
here.
it's our pre-team and team. At our gym, both of them practice together.
Okay.
A lot of gyms that I know, if you get invited to team, right, then you have to compete. And we don't necessarily do that because we feel like there's two types of people who that won't work for. Either parents who can't afford it, right? Or kids who don't really want to compete, right? They don't like that pressure. But that doesn't change that they want to learn those higher level skills. And in most gyms, if they don't want to compete and the parents can't afford it, they miss out, right? They don't get that same training. We don't do that here. Our pre-team, they can stay at pre-team for the rest of their lives if they wanted to. And learn from the same coaches, right?
Yeah.
So they still get to be part of the team because our team members are also in the same class. They get to learn from the same coaches, learn the same stuff. They get to decide whether or not they want to compete, and some of them just don't. And I think that's great that they can understand their own, what they want to do in life and not feel pressured and stuff. So we try not to do that. We don't do
You
that
were
here.
talking about some of the costs. What are the extra fees for the competition?
So competition can get quite expensive. A lot of the fees actually don't have to do with the gym as much as they do with the competition. So you pay
So what would a
fees.
parent expect to pay for maybe a year of competition team?
Let's see, my daughter, when she was a level 3, which was a couple years ago, we went to a little bit more farther away meets, so it was a little bit more expensive. But we probably paid about $1,500 in a year.
So you're talking about travel fees?
Yes.
Okay.
So we're talking about, like, I'm kind of an OCD person when it comes to that. So my parents get a whole spreadsheet that shows everything we pay for.
Okay.
And it breaks it down on what they're paying for. And
That's
so
always nice to know as a parent.
It is. Well, and it's just really transparent because I like parents to understand, where their money is going
Right.
and why, So we have hotels, the competition fees, they have to pay for their Leo and warm up in the very beginning. And then after that, it's just a matter of, the parents also traveling, right? Because if they want to watch, they have to go.
Yeah.
Right.
So that can add up depending on, sometimes we used to take our whole family, which is 6 people. So we'd have to get 2 hotel rooms, which can be,
Get a little
yeah.
bit pricey.
yeah.
It does add up.
But then
Can we
sometimes
walk
we didn't.
this way as we keep talking. I have
Yeah.
some more questions. So on this, as they look at that, if someone's going to just want to take classes in rec, how much is that going to cost them?
So depending on the age, and that's the biggest thing, is older means they can go longer. If they can go longer, then it's going to cost more, but not much more.
It's
so
a
the
longer
older
class, so that's why it's a longer class.
Yeah.
And so that's why the cost is
Exactly.
more. Okay.
So like our 8+ classes are 30 minutes longer, but they're only $10 more. So
gotcha.
it's for a 90-minute class once a week, it is $60. The cool thing is we have a lot of parents that want to have them come twice a week. So the second class is actually half off.
Oh.
So they can come for 2 classes, each
And
week
pay for
and
just
only
half
pay
a
90.
class.
Yeah, because the second class is half off.
Oh, okay.
Awesome.
Right,
Okay.
and then we also offer discounts for multiple students from the same family.
Oh, that's helpful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And we do it off the total because it's a lot easier to say if there's 2 kids in a class, that you take 10% off the total versus your second kid is what,
a certain
we
amount.
try not to make the math too difficult so that the parents can understand, yeah.
What's this little class right here?
This little class is our intermediate recreational class, so they are our 5 to 7-year-olds.
I was like, these guys don't look like they're intermediate, but that would make sense if you start at
They do
toddlers.
look very young, don't
Yes,
they?
so there are 5 to 7-year-olds. These kiddos have learned some of the skills that are, a little bit harder to do, like a pullover. They've gotten their handstands down. They are working on like handstand bridge kickovers. They're working on their handstands on the beam. Their handstands, might I add, I say that a lot because it's like the most important skill.
Right.
But
Balance and strength and
yeah,
everything. Yep.
yeah. Well, then there's a handstand in everything you do.
Yep,
So they have, moved up a level so that they can be more challenged, which is the thing I said earlier. They were kind of in that situation where it was really easy for them in the other class, and so it's important for them to always be challenged. So they're having fun.
So I see the coaches. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt
No,
you.
you're fine.
Tell us about your coaches.
My coaches are awesome.
Because I imagine to coach gymnastics, you've got to be pretty experienced.
You know what I have learned? I've actually had coaches that really know a lot and have a hard time teaching it. And I've had coaches that, like, for example, Kaylee right here, she's actually did gymnastics when she was younger, but she's been a dancer most of her life. And I find that she is the best one at helping, critique and help build their technique, because a lot of it does have some dance stuff,
Yeah.
making sure they point their toes, making sure their legs are turned the right way. All those things really affect whether or not they do well, right? And she's really good at noticing that. And Katie here actually has a black belt in, I think it's jiu-jitsu.
Wow.
And she's been with us for a year or so. And she did gymnastics, like I said, when she was younger. But there's those people, that can just pick it out and they know exactly how to help somebody. And, those who can't teach, right?
Right.
Yeah.
If there's someone out there that does have an interest in this, they have some background in either dance or gymnastics or something, should they just come in and talk to you? Do you have opportunities?
Oh yes, I mean, like I said, you don't have to have that, but we have a level 10 gymnast that used to be a level 10. Her name's Lexi. She's actually coaching team right now. She obviously has the know-how to do the things, so it's not just picking it out, but it's also being, so she can actually demonstrate some of the stuff.
Wow.
Maybe she'll do something for you, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the girls, I think sometimes need that, right? They see somebody do it and they're like, oh, like I said with the ninja coaches, then they're like, not only do I want to do what they're doing, but now I understand that she knows how to teach it, which can be really important sometimes. Some kids, are stubborn. I think I would be like that, I'm pretty sure.
You would be the stubborn
Yeah,
one.
I'd be like, if you can't do it, I'm not learning from you, But luckily I'm not there anymore, so.
How many
Do
coaches
you
are
have,
good?
I just wondered if you have any classes for adults.
We have not done that. So I actually tried to last year, but we're going to. Because I have quite a few parents that are like, when are we gonna do this? you know?
Yeah.
But I've learned not to spin too many plates, right?
Yeah, yep.
So
Smart.
we actually are starting a babies class in a couple of weeks. And then after that, right, we're gonna be doing a parents class. And it'll
fun.
probably be, later in the evening when parents can, the kids are in bed and dad's home, or,
Right.
if they're
Or
old enough.
mom's home.
Yeah, exactly. And they can come out and it'll be a mix of gymnastics and ninja, if that makes sense.
Oh, way fun.
Because bars tend to be harder when you get older.
Yeah.
And so it takes a little bit of time to even build up enough, calluses even.
Right.
Right? It's not even just being strong enough.
Right.
Just like, how long can you hold the bar before it starts hurting? So yeah, it's pretty fun.
So
This
in this, if you
ninja-
take a look at how many classes a week do you offer?
Oh goodness, I'm trying to think. We have about 7 or 8 classes a day, so about 40 classes.
Wow.
And we're growing, like we just opened up an 8+ class 2 weeks ago and it's full.
Wow.
So I'm gonna have to open up another one, which is a good problem to have.
Wonderful, yeah.
I love that
Wow.
problem.
That is awesome.
Because I love the idea that parents are starting to see the difference that we bring here, which, like I said, I know every single kid's name in this entire gym right now.
Yeah.
I mean, you could ask me and I could tell you, because it's really important. I think kids need to know somebody knows their name and can see them and hears them and that they are noticed, right?
That definitely builds their confidence
Very
and
much.
makes them enjoy coming. So
Exactly.
that's really cool.
Yeah, and it's just, I make it a big point to know their names their very first day, so that they feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Because that's scary coming into a big gym.
Yeah.
There's lots of people here, and they're like,
Yep.
what's going on?
Yep.
So we have fun here, though.
Looks like you have another class coming out.
Yes, this
There's
is
like
my
3
Rec
going
8.
at the same time.
Yes, this is my Rec 8 class. So they're beginners, and they, so Coach Kaylee is starting them off. She's going to warm them up on the trampoline. But yeah, so these two are sisters right here. They like to compete with each other a little bit. They're a little sassy. Hi, Rayleigh. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you.
This Ninja Warrior kind of reminds me of parkour. Is it similar or are they different?
It is very similar. I would say the biggest difference is parkour is like all the stuff that you go out and do, like, if you see like a railing or something and you're jumping over that, right?
Okay.
And how far you can jump. So we don't recreate the outdoors, right? We try to create ways in which they can do that safely. Because parkour, I feel, and I mean that lots of people say, can be a little dangerous, and we don't want to make it risky for them. We want them to enjoy it and not get hurt, because a lot of times little kids, if they get hurt, it's like it takes a long time to get them back.
They're scared to try again.
Exactly,
Yeah.
And so we really make sure we're being safe and we're teaching them things, and that, if anything could go wrong, tried to plan for it.
Okay.
And Ninja itself, you know, because they have that TV show, right?
Right.
You know, my youngest son, he just is like, oh, Mom, did you watch that? Like, let's go back to the gym and practice, you know?
Oh, that's
But
fun.
it's also hard, you know? So like they learn strength training, they do push-ups, they do all sorts of things. And, you know, by the end of the class, they're worn out, but they have fun.
Yeah.
Lots of fun. So
Lucas and Chandler talked about their competitions they did. Do you offer competitions for your Ninja Warrior classes
So
here?
we don't, but we are going to, because we had talked about this when they first came on as coaches last year, waiting for a year to build up enough kids to actually hold the competition, right? Because you got to make sure that it's not just, you know, that one kid who's really good at everything is going to win no matter what, right?
Right.
And we've also made it, we don't actually do it based on like their final score. We do it based on how well they've improved, right? So any kid can win, right?
that.
So if there's a kid that has just improved over time and worked really hard, they have a potential of winning over the kid who just naturally does it, you know. And I'm not saying they shouldn't win either, right? But we really value hard work,
Right.
right? So we want them to really put in the effort. Yes, it's fun, but we're trying to also grow really good human beings, and hard work is like a major element of having a good human being. So
Well, this is awesome. I mean, this is amazing. I did not, it's amazing. I can't believe how many things you can fit in this space.
I did not
Because
realize
this is
that
a
either.
big place. But it's,
Yeah.
I mean, there are so many things in here.
Yes.
There's a lot going on, and it doesn't feel like they're crowding onto each
No,
other. They've
it
all
just-
got their own space. So.
It feels like almost like there's an energy of each other being next to, and you get to see, and everyone's going.
And they,
Yes.
the little ones probably enjoy watching those older ones
Yeah.
too, and seeing what they're going to be able to do someday.
Yeah.
Yeah, they love it.
awesome.
And we actually tell our team, you know, that they are supposed to be the examples, and they learn their names too. So they'll come and tell the little girls, you know, you're doing awesome. I saw you do that. Like so we do a ticket system here. That's something actually I should tell you about. So we do not, there's a lot of places that will, like, let's say somebody isn't listening, right? And you say, all right, give me 5 push-ups, right? We do not absolutely do that at all here. We reward positive behavior only. And so our team girls, if they are doing something positive, and that is anything from being kind to helping move mats to really trying hard, right, to being helpful, they earn tickets throughout the day. And then they get to use it. We have a raffle bin. It's kind of like a mini Leo's place, right?
Oh, yeah,
so
yeah.
Oriental trading is like the death of me because I spend a lot of money on there.
Kids love that.
But yes, and you know, I do give it out to other classes too sometimes, but
fun.
they get to use those tickets to purchase whatever they want. And it's all based on them being a good person, not getting a skill. We don't give them for skills. They should be happy to get a skill,
Right.
but it's the other things, you know, so they get rewarded for being a better
That's
person.
awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And then I like giving things, so it's really fun to see them
It's
pick out
amazing.
their
Get
stuff.
excited to do that. Yeah,
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
that.
Well,
Yeah.
Brittne, tell us one more time, because this is amazing. I think anybody with kids, this is what a great environment
Yes,
for
yeah.
them to get and be a part of it. How do tell them one more time? How do they find out what is offered and when and get in for their free assessment class?
Kyle.
So on our website, eaglerockgym.com, it gives you a description of all of our classes, right? But the best thing is to come in and try out a class. And the best way to do that is to call us.
Gotcha.
Or you can text. I know there's a lot of moms out there that are so busy, right? And it's like, I just don't have the time to call you and talk to you for
Yes.
10 minutes. I've got something else. You can send us a text and say, hey, I have a daughter. She's this age. What class do you recommend? And we would come back with you with a couple options. Not a lot, because I know it's also really hard to make a decision when there's
Right.
lots of them.
Right.
So we give them a couple choices. They come in for the trial. They don't have to do anything but that. They come in a couple minutes early to just sign the waiver so their child can participate. We see how it goes. Generally, it goes really well. I mean, we've had really good, feedback and positive, and obviously we're growing. And then that's when we talk about, okay, this is the other times we have,
Gotcha.
and we think your child's in a great class. This is a good, suitable class for them. And then we talk about prices and stuff. But yeah, the trial class is like, it's the best thing because your child also gets to see whether or not they like it.
Right.
Right.
So
Right.
tell
They
us
get
that
noted.
phone number again.
Yep.
It's 208-227-4074.
Can they go through Facebook or any other social
Yep,
media?
yep. So we are at Eagle Rock Gymnastics Academy. So it's all one word
Got it.
on Facebook. They can messenger us. We also reply to that very quickly. Trying to think of any other. We're pretty good. Email. You can email us Eagle Rock gym@gmail.com.
Could they stop in and just reserve for
Yep.
a day? If
Yes.
they, just to come in to get, if they have a nervous child?
Yeah,
just
we've
come
had
in and
quite
watch?
a few parents come and do that. We
Gotcha.
actually, I'm here, so my 2 youngest are homeschooling, right, this year. So we come and homeschool here, so we're away from our house, so it's like a separate place.
Ah.
So I'm here all day, and from like 8 in the morning until 8 at night, which I love,
Yeah.
right? Maybe someday I'll go somewhere else, but for right now I'll be here.
Tell
And a
us
lot of
the
parents come in.
address then if they want to stop by.
Yeah, of course. It's 2788 East 14th North. So we're down on the right side, right before you get to Eagle Rock Dance. If you see Eagle Rock Dance, you've gone too far, right? And if you get to iJump, keep going. We're a little bit farther down.
That's good.
Yeah.
Keep going past high jump. Stop if you got to Eagle Rock
Exactly.
Dance. That's
Exactly. Yep.
fantastic.
And then
Perfect.
we're right there, and you come right in, and I have a really high dinger, so it tells me when somebody comes in their house, because I also make sure kids don't just run out. Kids like to run out.
That's
It's
right.
scary.
Yeah.
So I'm like, nope. So I just put a
That's
really
important.
big bell on there, so I know when people
awesome.
come in. So yeah.
Well, that's
I'm
awesome.
here.
Thank you so much for
Yeah.
letting us come and experience this. And I think this is amazing.
Yeah,
Amazing,
I love
amazing.
it.
And I think that we should, you guys, if you're looking for a way to get your kids active, looking for something for them to start to do to build confidence, build strength,
Yep.
what a really cool, because there's so many varieties to get in here and check it out. Go to the
Lots of
website,
options.
give them a call, get in here for a trial. It's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. It's
Been
been
amazing.
awesome. Yeah.
Come and talk to
That's great.
Brittne.
Yeah, come
It's
to me.
awesome. All right, you guys, this has been Jessica Carton,
And Elise Powell.
your nosy neighbors, keeping you in the know.